Welcome into another episode of Beneath the Grandstand, the magnificent grandstand here that's been here since Noah was a boy at Palmerston North Boys High School, PNBHS, the school we're also proud of. And this year we were incredibly proud of our first 15 who performed magnificently over the course of the season. Some absolute cliffhanger results here. The crowds here were great and fantastic. So of course we're joined by our coach, Dan Turnock. G'day Dan, how are you, mate? I like the jacket, the Murray,
Yeah, just representing. Yep.
Yeah, outstanding. Alex Palazzo, captain number 8. How are you, Alex? Good, mate?
Thank you.
Yep, big year. Jamie Viljoen, pressure kicker. Mate, I got to come to you first, though. Those couple of kicks that you nailed, the one against Hamilton boys stands out, because that was pretty pivotal, I guess, earlier on in the season. And then the one, out here against Rotorua. Yeah. Can you take me through what those moments were like?
The Hamilton one's probably the harder kick between the two. Yeah. I think we were leading the whole game, and then they got a penalty kick to take the front. And it was about 5 minutes to go, so I feel like we deserved to win that game. So I was kind of doing what I could and just stick to my process and kicked it like any other kick, and luckily it went through.
What was it like being the coach watching those? Coach killer moments, right?
They were. I think the Hamilton one for me is interesting. Jamie sort of saying any other kick. I think there was a guy in the Herald wrote that I'd throw my hands up in despair when you tried a chip kick, because I hadn't seen the advantage. So I thought we'd just chased a miracle and kind of thrown it away. But once I saw we were going back, I had confidence that he'd kick it because he'd chosen to do the chip. So he sort of wanted the penalty, and it was pretty emotional after that game. To be fair, it's been a long time since we've beaten them, and I've taken a fair few pastings off them. To be fair, so it was pretty emotional. Yeah,
Alex, what was your view of the pressure kicks there that were critical in a couple of those games?
Yeah, well, the first one against Hamilton, I was on the sideline, so I was.
That's right. There was a couple of you out injured at that stage, weren't
we
there?
did. Yeah, so we had a pretty young loose forward going at 8, so. He did his job and just worked the whole game, and just from the sideline we were playing on top of them the whole game, so to get that penalty at the end was pretty rewarding, and Jamie's clutch kicking, so we got to. It was
good at home as well.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and
good to do it at home.
Definitely that Super 8 win, that clutch kick was cool. So we had planned for a drop goal. Yeah. And then we got rewarded with a penalty off their mistake, and that's all she wrote. So
down at the end of the year, it didn't quite pan out. It would have been. There was it was a fine line between pleasure and pain, but far more pleasure in season 2025 than pain. I mean, I think it'll go down in memory as a very, very fine season. Myerscough Cup, Super 8. I mean, pretty damn good.
Oh yeah, I think. From a coach's point of view, I don't like. For me, it's all about the boys. It's credit to the boys. The boys at the moment probably don't realise what they've done really in terms of what they've created. We talked when we had a chance to play for the Myerscough. I think we started learning it was 1985 since we'd last held it. Now all of a sudden the history books change and it becomes 2025 to make a Super 8 final. I think we made one last in about 2013 or something that was away in Hamilton. So, like when I even did my season planner of dates, I didn't even include the Super 8 final on my planner.
Yeah, you have little faith, coach.
Yeah, well, to be honest, I've never even thought about it. But we've not even, it's sort of you start working through the season and your radar's on the Hurricanes knockout stuff. And to be fair, like with how strong Super 8 is, Hamilton traditionally, Turnock. Currently they've been phenomenal for the last couple of years. Roders, obviously we knew they were going to be strong given they were quite young last year. Hastings, everyone was talking about it like it's a tough competition. So for the boys to go out and do what they did is pretty special, and I think again you don't really realise what they've achieved until you sort of look back in a few years' time and people are still talking about the 2025 team. So I think it was pretty special.
Well, I think they definitely will be. Alex, what do you make sort of the culture of this team? How important is that sort of? I flew into Palmerston early June. It was before the Hamilton game. I came along here and I saw Bruiser there, and you're about to do some scrum practice. So I cheekily pulled over and watched and I thought, you know what, I think there's something going on. I think this is, I felt pretty confident about it. But, what was special about the team and how unified you were?
I think in the past, we've been a bit guilty of just going and looking too far ahead. And sort of this year, our mindset changed to just wanting to win and just going week by week. So, just every week going in with the edge to win and making sure we won was a big key thing. That it was an expectation as well. So, just going to those games, every training, just wanting to better our team. And we did have a good culture. We've been pretty close, our group of boys. So, there's probably 6 of us that have played since Colts. Sort of that year group was coming through, so there was lots of good connections with the boys, and everyone just gelled really early on in the season. So just had that winning culture was definitely in the team.
Did you have that kind of expectation that you would achieve what you achieved this year? Did you think it was there when you looked at all the pieces on the playing board before the season started? How did you feel about your chances to do what you did?
Yeah, it's a good question. To be fair, going through the start of pre-season, we had a lot of boys out. Just a few boys had surgeries, a few boys just recovering from injuries, and we lost to Lindisfarne at the start of the year, and that was a little bit of like a...
Can we cut that out? No. Yeah. Well, I was quite surprised. I didn't. Yeah.
And we sort of, that was a point where we kind of looked at the team. We were like, right, we've got to really turn this on once we get back to our team and we have our full squad. So I think the expectation was there that we knew we were going to have a good team, and we had the players in the right places, and other spots filled and boys stepped up. So just moving along the season, we just a few good wins, and we just really started to believe that we could do something pretty special.
And with that belief comes unification, doesn't it? I mean, you guys you look like you were really united. But was it good fun as well? I mean, that's critical, isn't it?
Yeah, every week training with the boys, no matter the weather. I think we all just were looking forward to after school to get stuck in and improve. And if I was to say, I think I had a sneaky suspicion at the start of the year, like you said, the same group of Colts. Now that we went really well in Colts, so it's the same year group now in First 15, and mixing that with some good young talent, I think I was a bit confident going into the year. So yeah.
Is that what you sort of felt? Dan? You could feel that there's something a little bit special there. Did you?
Yep. As a coach, you're always looking at potentially the next year. And this year, we finished this year, we're starting to look at 26. So going back to end of 24, looking at 25, we felt like we'd be in a good spot. Going through the team, we had a number of front rowers coming back. We had Locke coming back. We knew we had some loose forwards coming back. We had sort of our reserve 9 stepping up. We had our 10 coming back. So we knew sort of across the board we had a lot of experience, and I think that's massive at First 15 level. Boys just understanding the level they've got to get to, and knowing that games are going to be peaks and troughs. It's a bit different than, say, under 15s. It's teams are going to have their moments. It comes down to taking advantage when you're on top and trying to weather the storm when you're under the pump a little bit. So that experience is massive. So we felt really good, and I guess these two guys here, Thuju and the team, both been in leadership positions for their second year, so they learned a lot probably in 2024. And then you just rely on, there's always these holes. I say holes, there's always these where new players are going to have to come in, and we need them to step up, and I think they were probably a key part as well, that they allowed these guys to just go and do their job. I look at Flynn White, I thought at hooker had a fantastic year. Carlo Isaac coming in, playing 6, 7 and 8 was outstanding. Kisioni came in from nowhere, really hadn't played rugby for 2 years and had a great year. So Caden Pardy at centre stepped up. So guys that kind of, where we had those maybe new positions, that's probably where the key to the season was. We knew we had this experienced core, we were going to be okay. Can we take that next step? That's where we needed those sort of new players to step up, and they did that really well. So,
I love this question from the executive producer of this, Sally Wenham. She talked about, what is the game that best defines the identity of this team?
For me?
Yeah.
Turnock boys, I think. To be honest, I could go to a lot of the games. I think they're an outstanding group of men, really, that we coached. I think they said they came to training, we worked really hard. I think the training you spoke to me afterwards at the auction, and like we just sit there and watch them in the grandstand. Like we got to that point pretty early where these guys are running the team run and they're bossing things, and I think if you can get to that point, you're in a good spot. But we had to battle back against Hamilton. We had to battle back in that Super 8 final. But going to Turnock away, I don't know if you were
down
there.
by what?
We were 19 points down after about 12 minutes.
Yeah.
The band's playing. There's a massive crowd.
I'd turned my phone off. I didn't want to have the updates.
Man, I was ready to walk away. I thought this is a waste of a trip. I've just come for a night out in the mount, really. But there was just no panic, really. And again, these guys stayed calm behind the post. The messaging was pretty good. I had like the assistant coach running on, coming back, going, "Oh, Alex and Jamie still seem okay." And then I think Carlo scored, and then I think you got a little intercept, or the 10 dropped it or something, and then we managed to kick a penalty on half time. And the talk beforehand had been this is going to be really tight at half time, and then all of a sudden we were back to 1915 or 1917. It was like, right, it's exactly where we said we were going to be. And then we mentioned it a little bit earlier actually as well, just there was about a 15-minute spell of goal line defence where Turnock, to be fair, dominated that first 20 minutes of the second half. We would have held them up over the goal line about 4 times. Our maul defence was outstanding, and we finished that 10-minute spell with an intercept try at the other end, and then had to come back and score another last-minute try to win it. So for me, that whole ability to just hang in games, the closeness that you talked about, like the guts to work for each other, it's pretty special.
Yeah, fantastic. My dad played in the captain of the 56 team under Ian Cahoon. I played in Ian Cahoon's last team, and that was actually also coached by Digger Doyle. Fantastic schoolboy rugby coaches. I'm going to turn it on you two. What makes this guy special? Start as a back, because clearly he's not a first 5A. What? Give me the oil on your coach.
Well, I think he's a big part of the culture of the team. As you can probably tell, he can banter and he can give and take it. So good relationship with the coach, I think, goes a long way. And he's
trust, delegation, all those things.
Trust.
Yeah.
Everything, like with us as captains as well, he's always coming and asking what we think of it. And I think that's hard to find, because some coaches it's all their way and they're never wrong. But he's very good in communicating and what's best for the team and how the players actually feel.
Yeah. Alex, your thoughts on the coach?
Same with Jamie, but also just doing what's best for the team in all circumstances. So, whether that's setting the game plan up for the players we have, or asking for feedback and just giving it back to us as well is really important. And just the connection that he has with the players. I think everyone wants to run out there and do their best for the coach, and everyone knows you've got your back. So when you're out there, you can just express yourself and you can go and play the game that you want to play, because you've got someone in your corner there to back you up. So just making sure we're expressing ourselves and wanting to see us go further in our game as well is a big part.
I think he never lacks passion too.
Yeah.
Often turns up on game day and says he's ready to tie on the boots and and jump.
Quick shave and you'd probably get out.
I'm surprised he's not his first 15 gear, to be fair.
Hey, what Bruce has done under here, Bruce Hemmerer, and I don't want to sound like one of those old guys talking about the past and everything, but I just point out my team's actually up there, so we'll get a photo afterwards. But this is just fantastic. I mean, I don't know any old boy that wouldn't come in here and go, wow, this is just very simple but very, very meaningful. So it's a good space. Do you enjoy being here, prior to a game?
Yeah, I think it's like the heart of our team is in here. So when we're playing home games, we acknowledge it, and we always huddle in here before we run out and we look around and acknowledge what's going on.
You got the hair up on the back of my neck.
I think it gets us going before we run out there, and we want to do everyone proud and who's come before us. So
we don't spend too much time in here. So most of the stuff is done in there, and we really just come in here before we go out, and because of that, I think it's become more of a special place that we don't spend so much time in here, that it's really just for the team. So the boys love coming in here, and it's a pretty cool space to look around before you go out, and it's pretty inspirational.
Dan, there's obviously, you're a coach, you've got a coaching staff, the school's behind you. I will just mention the rector said to me, don't get too excited about the 2025 team. So this might be the last episode I do of this by repeating that, but that was his Napier boys obviously coming through. just slightly joking, tongue-in-cheek rector, but a big community, and right from the top, from the rector through, backing the team, sponsors. There's people involved with the First 15 now who had no connection of my generation or businesses around town who just go, they zone in on it, and it's such a good sort of, I don't know, a central focal point for the community.
Yeah, I think like schoolboy rugby's got massive. Like it's essentially it's become almost your American college system. So from here, boys are signed to academies, Super Rugby franchises, MPC. We look at guys like Eli, Odin Ryan left a couple of years ago, straight into Tasman, Canterbury, like fantastic. And so the pathway's there, and it's become, it is a big part of school life. And there's a balance for me around like these guys have still got to go to school, and so. Yeah.
Are you demanding of that they perform 100% academically?
Yeah. Oh, yep. Not quite the whole Coach Cardi, you got to get a suit in school, but for me, if we're not at school, we don't play.
Yeah.
If we're not in class, we don't play. It's because they're school, and that's a school rule. That's a fundamental rule. So we can't go against that. And I think when I sort of came in to the first, it was okay. What do you want to achieve? And we sort of as a group we set a vision of or a mission to prepare kids for the future. So for me, and I kept it really broad. That's both sides. So academically, are we doing the right things? So awesome. Rugby-wise, we can teach them what they're going to need to know at the next level. But if they're going to go and play Super Rugby, everybody can play. So then the point of difference becomes your standards, your ability to get to places on time, your ability to behave the right way, to put the team first and do all that stuff. So that becomes sort of what we're about. So we teach them the rugby side, but then the off-field side is really important. And then with the whole community, the goal was to be the pride and inspiration of the school as a First 15, and that's, I always talk to the boys at camp when we do our sort of introduction to what we do. Like, I can't guarantee we're going to win any games. Like, Super 8's a tough competition. We could play well in 7 games and lose all 7 games. So we can't talk about, I don't talk about winning a particular game or winning any number of games, but we want to be the pride and inspiration, and then we talk about how we achieve that. So that's our behaviour off the field and the way we conduct ourselves, and then that's the way we go and play, both in the style that we play, but the effort that you put in, and again the way you conduct yourself at the end. And the boys were superb this year, and probably after the game when we lost to Fielding, and I don't really want to bring that up, but coming in here afterwards and hearing the boys speak, that's when you can sort of, for me, that's when you tick boxes as a coach. When you're playing on the field, and again, if we'd lost to Hamilton because Jamie misses that kick, or the ref gives a knock on against Rotorua in the Super 8 final, for me that wouldn't change what the team achieved in terms of nailing those two aspects, because we had 3,000 people nearly watching us play a Super 8 final. That's phenomenal, and that's the way these guys conducted themselves.
Players from the past as an inspiration, guys. I mean, right now you got the Rubens, you got the Nani Laumappis of this world. What do you guys? What's your next step, Alex? Where are you off to? What do you?
I'm staying local, so I'm signing with Manawatu for the next 3 years, and at the same time I'm going down to Vic Uni, so it's a bit of a satellite contract how it works. So just do a bit of study down there, play club
in Wellington, but
and then come up here for some time with the Turbos, and then just keeping with the graft and keeping on working hard. So it's just footy though. You just got to go where it takes you and just take the opportunities when they come.
Yeah. Jamie, what about you? What's your plan?
Yeah, I'm going to Taranaki. Be playing club rugby there as well, and with the Chiefs. So a bit of a different move, getting out of Palmy, but I'm looking forward to it. And kind of chasing the game. And
what's the dream? Black jersey, that dream, or not the other one, eh? Not grandfather and father. Okay, I tell you what.
All Blacks.
All Blacks all day.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah. No, cool. Alex, you got a dream? What's your?
You can't go past the black jersey,
Yeah. You guys still look at that.
Oh, maybe got a bit of a.
You've got the US Eagles connect, right? So tell me about that. This guy's interested in this.
Yeah. So my father, he's from New York.
Yeah.
So him and my mother met over there, and.
So your mother Kiwi from this part of the world, or?
Yeah, she's from Wanganui, so I live in Wanganui, just up the road an hour, and they met overseas and came back here to raise us kids in New Zealand, which was cool. So still got the ties there with America. So maybe one day you might see something.
What did your sports did your dad play in growing up in the US?
Oh, he played everything growing up. Baseball, gridiron, ice hockey. But yeah, ice hockey was his main sort of thing. And he had a couple of uncles play professionally back in the day. So yeah, he's got a few ties with hockey over there. But yeah, I think moving over here to New Zealand, he wished he had given rugby a crack.
Yeah, right. Dan, so what do you take forward from 2025 then? What are your takeouts from 25 and to continue the legacy of the PNBHS First 15?
Well, I think, I guess as a coach you learn stuff every year. We did things a little bit differently this year in terms of, I guess, trying to build our game. So we started in a different way. So again, I'd probably stick with that. That was effective for us this year. And then I think over the last couple of years we've been really successful in empowering, I guess, the leaders, and I think my big learning over the last couple of years is we ask our captains to kind of run things on a Saturday. How do we give them confidence to run things on a Saturday? We've got to give them the ability to run things during the week, and I think you said at one point like it's almost second nature now, because we do a team run on a Thursday and the coaches aren't even involved,
Right.
So it's Alex and Jamie running it. They're calling the shots. We've had conversations during the week about what we need to tick off, but they're running it. They call it. At the end of the session, they'll give us the whistle and go, we finished. And then on a Saturday, everyone's used to hearing two voices bossing the game. So the more we can hand over and the more leadership you can give to your players, I think the better results you're going to get on Saturdays.
I think that was massive, because it was just like running out to training on a Thursday. We'd be in the game, so calling the shots and making sure the boys were looking at us to know what to do, not looking at the sideline, which is you still see a bit of now when we're playing. But yeah, because we were out there on Thursday, me and Jamie pretty much ran the team run, and when there were questions on the field, people would react to us and they would ask us the questions and we could problem solve that on the field. So yeah, that was cool.
Mates for life. I mean, guys, you're going to go whatever when I say this, but your 40 years from now reunion will happen as quick as. But I imagine you'll all keep in contact, because that's certainly been, one of the joys of my life is the connection that the First 15 gives you. You see that happening forever and a day?
Yeah, well, like I said, with me moving away, and I don't think it'll change the friendships we've made in the team, and we'll probably be playing against each other and with each other in the future, and that'll always be there. And then, like you said, when the reunion comes, we'll be coming back for a laugh and come visit the school, and
You'll have plenty of those. Yeah. What's the school, just in general? Alex, start with you. What's the greatest memory takeaway you're going to have from the school? The happiest moments,
Oh, definitely the footy moments. I've had some pretty fun time with the footy, but yeah, also just making friends, living in the hostel. I've got some good mates that I'll be mates with the rest of my life from there. And yeah, I think just the times where you're just kicking around with your mates, you probably don't realise those are the best times you're having, but when you look back, you can just reminisce for hours with the hostel boys and the footy boys. So yeah, I think definitely one of the best memorable moments will be winning Super 8. That was a pretty cool moment. Having all my mates there, pretty much the whole school charging us on the field, and people getting trampled at the bottom, and it was a pretty special moment. So yeah, that's definitely going to be one that you won't ever forget.
Yeah. Jamie, you were a boarder, but I always remember there were plenty of pseudo boarders, weren't they? College House is quite the magnet of a place for social interaction. Is that fair to say? You always enjoyed hostel boys. I'm not saying the backbone of the school, but I was, there were great day. It was always good banter. Put it that way.
Yeah. That actually reminded me, backbone of the school. But we do club rugby and that. Going over them in the couple of years ago. So
what you
Albion.
Albion beat Murray.
Yeah, Murray versus.
Oh, that's unheard of, Alex. God, what? Gee.
Bit of an underdog story there.
That would have been a good moment, because El Shan Shield, she's a good competition.
Everyone against us, ref against us.
No, it's the school against Murray. It's the school against Murray.
But all our after matches and that are in the hostel, so it's good to still be in the environment, and good chunk of our team probably in the hostel.
Yeah, there's a good chunk of boys in the hostel.
You can see the connections that living with your mates creates, like on and off the field. Like the boys are really tight, so yeah, it's cool.
Dad, the rugby's in good heart, school's in great heart. You know, these are good days, great days, eh?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, I think. Yeah, it's rugby's going to be massive. Like New Zealand's rugby's a big part of life, I think, still. So, the boys over the last, these boys we talked at the end of season dinner, like the boys that have been here for 3 years, we've sort of changed the face probably of boys high rugby. We sort of said the other day, 3 years you've managed to win a Hurricanes championship. We've made top 4. We've won the Moaski. We've won Super 8. That's probably beyond what was even planned when we sort of took over, you know. So these boys and the other guys that have been around for those 2 or 3 years have sort of left a lasting legacy, and they've sort of changed probably how we look at boys high rugby now. We've sort of gone from being one of those not on anyone's radar to being one of the teams to beat. So yeah, that's fantastic. And yeah, like Alex said, for me, when you run out for the Super 8 final, and I think pretty much everyone from Palmy was here, like it was massive. There was all the staff, all the students, everyone's face painted, the white wall came out. Like I love that. That's fantastic. Yeah, that's school spirit. And I think you said when you kick the penalty, like I could watch that over and over again, and not so much for the ball going through the post, but the guys behind the post like went absolutely nuts. One of the ball boys was just, I thought he was going to break down and cry, you know, like, and then you turn around and there's 1,000 people charging onto the field. Like that's cool. Like that's for a lot of boys, that'll be the highlight of their career. So it's pretty special when you can do that to an environment, I guess.
Year 9 for me, or third form, was 1979, and people, you know, I was a bit of a loner by nature, but I'd stand out here and watch the first 15, and they were a good side with All Black Craig Wicks at centre, New Zealand cricketer Derek Sterling on the wing, a bloke called Martini Love at first 5A, who perhaps doesn't work quite as hard as his son did. Sorry, Marty, I know you let me get away with that. Dean Kenny, All Black halfback. I mean, Ralphie Leonard's fantastic team. And I would just watch them like just glued to it. And I didn't have the natural skills, but I was determined that I would make the first 15. Advice, Alex, for a young year 9 who's watched you guys, you know, what would you say? What do you need to do? What sort of mindset do you need to wear that white jersey?
Definitely just got to work hard. But I think the main part is just enjoying it. Through my time through year 9 to first 15, that sort of period can be a little bit tough with selection if you don't make certain teams and things like that. But as long as you're enjoying your footy and working hard to better your game, when you get to the point where first 15 selection is coming around and you're that age and you're old enough, big enough, it'll come pretty easy. So yeah, just making sure you're working hard and just enjoying it is probably the main thing.
Your advice?
Yeah, I think if you just nail the basics early, like catch, pass, kick, tackle, if you can do that, you're well on your way, I think. And being coachable. Yeah, if don't think too highly of yourself and you can take criticism and you can change and adapt to what coaches ask of you, then I think there's no reason you couldn't make the team.
How many times have you kicked that Hamilton boys kick in practice? I mean, hundreds, thousands?
Oh,
you know, he usually misses them in practice, to be fair.
In practice, yeah. Well, that's good, you know.
Well, actually, after the game, I went back to the same spot and see if I could do it again, and I did, so...
Yeah, good, you did. Yeah. Rightio, gentlemen. Thank you so much, and congratulations on season 25. One last question. We were talking about our new sports pavilion and the goals and the dreams around that, but do you think this place will still have a special place, won't it, here? Because this is magnificent, the spot in here, isn't it? Give the opposition, they can go into the flash areas over there.
No, I think I'd rather get changed in here than a new pavilion, to be fair. But
it's a great facility we need, but this is still special. Yeah,
definitely.
The boys that come back and do jersey presentations, they always talk about this place, and I don't think that'll change, regardless of what else is built.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You look at the walls and old bruises on the walls and things like that, and you stand in the same room with them. So it's pretty cool.
You guys wouldn't have seen him play, but you did not want his grass cutter tackle was something out of this world. Yeah, and incredibly unlucky with his injury around the time the great Sean Fitzpatrick got a break thanks to Bruiser Hamara, which just shows you how good a player he was. Dan, Alex, Jamie, thanks very much. This has been PNBHS Under the Grandstand, first 15 edition.
Years may pass, but the stories remain. Boys, young hearts chasing the flame. Supporters and mentors with pride so steep. Baby's got the legacy that runs so